This is from August 5th, 2019. Intolerable and unacceptable. The only thing to do with fascists is defeat them. The only thing to do with fascists is defeat them. If you impeach them and they block their conviction in the Senate, run against them. If they keep the presidency and or keep the Senate, defy them as an illegitimate government. Go to the streets, have a general strike. Never cooperate with them, always oppose them, battle after battle after battle. Be insulted when they insult you. Stand up for weaker people that they bully. Speak out against them. Lose jobs, friends, money, comfort, opportunity, rather than compromise with them in any way. Be everything that they are not. Support everything that they do not. Free speech, equality, dignity, kindness, peace. But there is no peace without justice, and there is no negotiating with terrorists. Surrender schemes for personal ambition and success, climbing the ladder of a social structure that no longer exists. Battle stations. Churchill had Hitler's number. He knew that there were not good people on both sides. He knew that evil must be stopped, period. Even to the point of war, the good war. And Churchill was far from perfect, an imperialist, but he wasn't genocidal. And when he saw the opportunity to fight, the complete distillation of evil, he ushered in a possibility of a new era. Fascism defeated, colonialism ended, national health insurance in Britain, a softening of the British class system, an era of prosperity and achievement for many, and the possibility of the birth of liberation movements for oppressed peoples. This entry is repetitious of many that I wrote in 2016 when Trump's evil was apparent to many, but not enough. But now we've had years of Trump, and we see the dystopia of a cancerous minority in America. The wheel of fortune of the world drama turns round and round and back again, and it is turned now to the same moment that Churchill found himself in the 1930s, when his Cassandra warnings were starting to be heard. Churchill was ignored until Hitler's evil became obvious to everyone, and Trump and the Republicans' evil is obvious to everyone, or should be. And the moderate Democrats' measured responses are woefully inadequate. Selfish calculations related to personal career ambitions, maneuvers for political power, or misguided strategies to win within a system that no longer exists are woefully in error. We can lose elections and all sorts of battles, personal and public. We simply have to keep fighting. Losing to fascism is not an option. Our only regret should be that we have only one life to give to our race, our human race, our humanity. Churchill and Britain's darkest hour was easier, clearly visible, as battle lines and troop concentrations on a map. Our darkest hour is ethereal. venom in a word cloud that turns to real blood and shrieks of pain in the Walmarts and detention camps of our southern border, the schools, prisons, workplaces, markets, homes of our entire nation north of the border that embodies us all, men, women, and children. There is no one else. Universals of cruelty, suffering, sorrow, and indignation, moans and wailing, old people without medicine, children being bullied, homeless people doused in gasoline and set on fire, big pharma poisons tens of thousands for smug money, superior, masters of a master race, demented, distorted minds and faces, taking pleasure in the pain of others, culture of sadism. Families have no security. Jobs are mean places, disposing of people. Inhumane jails run for a profit. Affluent people hide behind walls, hear and see nothing. The poor and exposed escape into their minds, living a delusion of denied terror. Blood, neglect, chaos, lies, master races all bow to the man with the money. Baby boomers live on an infrastructure that aspired to democracy and equality and believed in the well-being of the many. The infrastructure is all but gone now. Its construction began with the recognition that we must defeat tyranny and the determination to be something far better than the tyranny in the aftermath of the war. It eroded over time. As Churchill and his immediate successors in their work and what they went through, how hard it was, is forgotten. We are at the moment when it is time to recall our history again, when we recognize that we face existential peril and that we are capable of meeting the threat and ultimately thriving. We must fight now, undiscouraged by our defeats in battle, committed to victory to the point of our extinction, because our defeat would mean our extinction. This is our darkest hour. Give us liberty or give us death, because they are the only two options on the menu. Churchill, fat, old, drunk, imperialist, cigar chomping, spoiled, whining, aristocratic baby, forgotten, ignored, left out, laughed at, old man loser past his prime, has been outsider, crank, save the world with the assistance of a few million other people. He saw the rise of evil first, and even he saw it at the last minute. He was a big enough prick to fight back, and enough of a writer and painter to see human potential and what it needed to be to nourish, and what it needed to be nurtured and to flourish. We can do this. I can do this. Greatness has nothing to do with perfection. Talent helps. Blind spots aren't fatal. Honesty, courage, integrity, and pride, the unwillingness to be pushed around, and a reverence for what is worthy, and scorn for all that is not, is required. I do not aspire to greatness, and it hasn't been thrust upon me. I just want to survive as a free and decent human being. Don't you? Humanity now, humanity tomorrow, humanity forever. Time for America to be really great again. Me too. Copyright 2019, Richard Thomas. And I want to add one postscript to this, given what was in the news about the riots in Portland, where white nationalist Nazis, whatever fascist groups it were, squared off with Antifa. I want to say that war in this piece, in this poem, is being used metaphorically. This has nothing to do with violence. There's two things about violence that I'm absolutely against. First, it's wrong. It's just wrong. And the second thing is that it's not wise. They have more physical power, and they're much better at using it. That's not how we're going to defeat them. Interestingly, I saw something that said that that expressions on social media aren't really helpful in the challenges that we face. That it's not really action. And I might agree with that if it's simply making a post where one expresses opinion and does nothing else. But I think real writing is helpful, and I think real writing is an action. And I'm not saying it in terms of self justification, but I'm saying that I've made the choice to pursue teaching and writing because they're the two things that I'm good at. And I'm doing them within the context of this overall reality, which is or should be clear to everyone. So this piece is really offered metaphorically. And when we talk about what Churchill did was that he had the vision to see what was going on, and he had the guts to stand up to it, and he stood up to it when it seemed that all was nearly lost.